cheerleader. She works in band, and now she's doing national anthem.
You said she's cheerleader, band, and that's great. She a good student?
Yeah, she's real good. Lane, as long as it ain't good. You got her? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's cool. I just wanted to know who was doing it.
Here comes your Eagles!
From Winslow Township High School in Atco, New Jersey, Play-by-Play Sports Productions proud to present today's New Jersey high school football matchup between Winslow Township and Paul Six. Well, hi again, everybody. My name is Tom Wilms. Thanks so much for joining us. This is Winslow Township. They're coming in with a record of 2-2. They're 1-1 in conference in the Liberty League. Tied for third right now with Clearview, coming off a 30-20 loss to Highland Regional. Prince du Bay, 8 for 24 in that game. 90 yards and a touchdown. Jaden Brown ran for 112 yards, while Bay and DeMel Reed combined for 108 yards rushing. Paul Six having a bit of a rough year. They are 0-5, 0-2 in conference, tied for fifth with Moorestown, coming off a 40-7 loss to the Eastern Vikings. As we're just about ready to go for this contest, Eagles versus Eagles. As we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be all set to go. We'll let you listen along to the national anthem.
Can you
lives and bright stars through the perilous skies. Oh, the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Give it up for Aaliyah. Great job. All right, tonight's game is sponsored by PDQ. Please go out and enjoy a good dinner after the game at PDQ.
Welcome back, everybody. Once again, we are live from Winslow Township High School as Winslow Township takes on Paul 6, which is based just outside of Audubon, New Jersey, and Westmont, New Jersey. The battle of the Eagles tonight, and Paul 6 right now looking to turn things around. A rough start, winless so far. Well, let's see if Winslow Township can make their way to over 500, sitting at 2-2 overall, and they are 1-1 in a conference play. Paul 6 has won the toss, and they will receive. Back to receive for Paul 6 is Osman Unyabeg, along with Dennis Hallam. A couple of seniors will try to get something rolling here for Paul 6, who are in the white and blue. Winslow Township, they are in the familiar green and white. Ready to kick off, Cameron Osborne. 12 minutes is up on the board. And Osborne will kick off from the 40-yard line. Looks like everybody's ready to go, and here comes the end-over-end kick. Back at the 10-yard line, picked up by Ndunde. He gets to the 25 and rumbles to the 27-yard line, and that is where he'll get started.
He gets it out about to the 27.
So just underway, just 7 seconds in.
After about a 10-yard pickup.
So it'll be first and 10 from the 27.
Right about the 26-yard line. First and 10.
And as mentioned, Paul 6, they had their issues over the last few weeks. Last week, dropping a game at Eastern by a score of 40-7. We're certainly perfectly positioned to hear the band. They are right in front of us. Little movement on the defensive line. Flags fly. Inauspicious start here for Winslow Township. Positive yardage here for Paul 6 without even snapping the ball. The defensive offside, move the ball to the 32-yard line, first and 5. Under center will be number 12, Kevin Johnson, 5'11", 185. The senior with the pink armbands. Back in the shotgun, he hands it off right up the middle, but that's stuffed out right away. Like it was Andrew Needham Jr. who was in on the tackle. Like that went for no gain, so we'll go for second and 5. things out. It'll be 2 to the left and 1 to the right. One man, actually 2 in the backfield in the pistol. And fakes the handoff pass to the left side. That is tipped and incomplete. Pass just a little bit too high. And out of the reach of Nicholas Ocampo, the sophomore wearing number 22. That'll be 3rd and 5 here for Paul Six. Homecoming, by the way, here for Winslow Township. And you can hear a raucous atmosphere here at Winslow Township High School. So they'll spread it out once again, same formation. With 2 to the left, 1 to the right, and in the shotgun is Johnson. Back to throw, looking left. In the slant, caught at the sticks. And that should be just enough for the first down. Complete to Nicholas Ocampo.
First down yardage.
So they will move the markers. And that's the first down of the day.
He has enough for the first down.
So 1st and 10 from the 39. After a early penalty and 2 misplays. 3rd and 5 turns into a 1st and 10. This might be the bread and butter here for Paul Six. 2 to the left, 1 to the right, 1 in the backfield as they do hand it off. And a gain of about 5 on the play. It gets to the 44-yard line.
A 4-yard gain. About 5 yards. 44.
Nugabe with the gain. 2nd and 5 now for Paul Six. Nobody in the backfield this time, so they'll go trips left and trips right and to the left. And in the shotgun again is Johnson. Johnson, he'll keep it under some pressure, gets to the line of scrimmage, then ducks his head forward to the 50-yard line. That'll be good enough for the first down. See his gang tackle in Winslow Township territory. So first down once again for Paul Six. They found a nice little rhythm right now. And when they spread that out, nobody in the backfield, that spread out the defense, and that allowed Johnson to go right up the middle. This time he's in the shotgun, and he'll hand the ball off. But he's tackled right away, just at the 50-yard line, gets back to the line of scrimmage at the 49.
Stopped by Winslow's Jamil Khan.
And looks like they're going to give him a gain of a yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 48.
Bring up 2nd and 9 at the 48 of Winslow.
Yeah, Paul Six taking their time getting out of the huddle. 2 to the left, 1 to the right, 1 man in the backfield. Is Nugabe, and he's going to stay in the block. Back to throw to the left side, and it's just through the hands of Nasir Mitchell. As that looks like it was intended
Going to bring up 3rd and 9
for Nugabe.
from the 48.
A little bit off the mark, and fortunate for Paul Six that Mitchell could not bring it in, so it'll be 3rd and 9. And last time faced with a 3rd down situation, able to convert. This one's significantly longer. Again, 3rd and 9 from the 48-yard line. Paul Six is in Winslow territory. 2 left, 1 right, 1 in the backfield. And circling out here is Johnson. Johnson looking for room around. Pass up ahead. That is caught, but a little bit short of the sticks. If he holds on, he does hold on. Let's see how much yardage the spot is given to him. That is complete to Nicholas Ocampo.
It's going to bring up a 4th down.
Oh, they are going to say incomplete.
48.
So 4th and 9 from the 48-yard line. And it'll be intriguing to see what Paul Six does here. On the far side, Johnson, hands on hips, talking to his coach, thinking that either he's going to punt or they're going to go for this. Well, looks like he's going to line up to go for the 4th and 9. Really tight with 3 in the backfield. And again, Johnson in the shotgun. Back to throw. Under some pressure from the left. Throws over the middle. That is caught just over the 40-yard line.
Across the middle, caught by number 4.
And that'll be another first down for Paul Six. Nolan McGrath with the catch,
Enough for the first down.
as he just found a little bit of a seam, a little bit of a pocket in there. And a nice throw right on the money from Johnson. Gain of 9 on the play.
Picks up just
It'll be
enough yards for the first down.
first and 10 from the 39-yard line as Paul Six is marching. And so important to try to get that first score, and they're on their way trying to pull that off with 2 to the left, 1 to the right. And the handoff. Here's Alfred Woods looking for room. Ball's down loose, but it will be picked up by Paul Six.
Paul Six jumps on it.
As Anugabe. I believe he's the man who picked it up.
Ball was fumbled ahead and
See where they finally spot the ball. Looking at the 32-yard line. So gain of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4.
about Winslow's 32-yard line, 31.
So even when things don't go quite right, at least so far on this drive, Paul Six able to move the ball forward. Trips to the right, to the left, nobody in the backfield. There's another quarterback keeper, but snuffed out right away as losing his footing was Johnson.
Tripped up in the backfield. Maybe got back there.
Jamel Kwan was right there to touch him up.
No gain.
And he was very fortunate to get even close to the line of scrimmage, but it looks like it's a loss of 1.
4 to go.
So 3rd and 4. And that'll be from the 33-yard line. I'll say Kevin Johnson, the quarterback for Paul Six, getting his wind sprints in, going back and forth, running back to the coach and back to the huddle. As they'll go 2 to the right and 1 to the left and a couple in the backfield. Winslow looking to blitz. It's handed off and, no, it's going to be capped, excuse me, as Kevin Johnson
Once again in the backfield.
was able to get to the line of scrimmage. So it may have faked me out, but certainly not the defensive core of Winslow Township. So it'll be 4th down. And again, last time it was 4th and 9, so really maybe not a whole lot to worry about here. If you're Paul Six, they could figure out a way to move the ball forward. Again, you would hate to waste which is looking like a pretty good drive, and having it stall without any points. Down to 6:34 left to go in the first quarter. Still no score. First drive of the game. 2 left, 1 right, 1 in the backfield. And Johnson in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. A little screen to the left side, but getting knocked down right away was Ocampo. Great tackle there by Jaden Brown. And it'll turn over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for Winslow Township. So a nice little drive here from Paul Six, but they just gambled a little bit too much. Maybe they would have been better served maybe earlier, even though the 4th and 5 worked earlier. Maybe it would have been better served to just punt it deep and play the field position game. But they got a little greedy there. And let's see what Winslow Township can do in this case. Prince Drew Bay, who's been leading this Winslow Township team all season long, had a fine game last week against Highland Regional in spite of the loss. He's in the shotgun, and he's back to throw. Looking to air out. He's got some time. Now flushed down to the left, and he'll bring it down and keep it this flag in the backfield. He'll get to the 50-yard line, forced out of bounds, but the flag is in the area of holding. So this may be coming back. So you keep an eye on the official, and that's exactly what it is. It's going to be a holding call against Winslow Township. So nice little gain.
Prince Drew Bay.
Well, that gain is snuffed out.
That's going to come back.
And let's see where they end up spotting the ball. Again, that's a spot foul. And it goes all the way back to the 26-yard line, so it'll be 1st down.
1st and about 21 to go.
And a long way to go for Winslow Township.
About 26-yard line.
So 1st and about 21-22. As Winslow spreads things out. Bay back to throw, looking to his left. That pass is dropped. Isaiah Lewis had it right in the numbers, but could not bring it in. May have turned before he had it really in his chest. And you saw how open he was. And maybe he felt that as well, going, wait, there's nobody near me. This is going to be easy. Well, got to bring it in first. So 2nd and long now for Winslow Township. And this spread formation with 2 on either side and 1 man in the backfield. Bay is back to throw. Good containment. Throw to the right. And that one is caught at the 40-yard line. Cut to the outside. Trying to cut back in and spin forward was Jalen Cheek. But there is a flag in the backfield and holding once again against Winslow Township.
You have another flag there?
So you can certainly say that things are looking up for Winslow Township as far as their offense is concerned, but is it only looking up because of the penalties? And that is 2 holding calls, and they are significant. So it's going to be 2nd and a country mile here for Winslow Township. 5:52 left to go in the first. And still no score in this one. Paul Six's initial foray on the field offensively stalled after a couple of gutsy 3rd and long and 4th and long plays. This is going to go all the way back to the 10-yard line. Winslow Township has to get to their own 47 for the first down. So a long way to go. Bay is back to throw. Under pressure, flushed out, tries to go right up the middle. Hand on him, but still cuts his way to the outside. Now has plenty of room to the 25 to the 30. We're going to go right up the middle, and he is going to go. Oh, look at that run by Prince Drew Bay. Touchdown, Winslow Township. He made a couple of Paul Six defenders miss, found a seam, and he was gone. A 90-yard touchdown run for Winslow Township. They take a 6-0 lead.
Prince Drew Bay up the middle for 90 yards.
Oh, my. Couple of defenders got a hand on him, but the arm tackles are certainly not going to work against Bay. 6 foot, 185. As in to take the PAT is Daniel Dadura. Snap is dropped. Dadura picks it up. He looks to try to throw, but he's going to just eat it. And the PAT is no good, but with 5:33 left to go in the first quarter, a dynamic 90-yard touchdown run by Winslow Township's Prince Drew Bay gives Winslow Township a 6-0 lead. It was a 2nd and 32. Didn't settle for the 32. He got 90. You're Paul Six, you've got to be disappointed, obviously. Not only do you have a nice offensive series, even though it's stalled, but then, with help from penalties, you force a 2nd and long and just could not contain Bay. So now Paul Six will get another opportunity. Back to receive. There's a Nugabay. Along with Nicholas Ocampo. And ready to kick off is Cameron Osborne. Both receivers, potential returners, are back at the 15-yard line. As it looks like Winslow Township is ready to go. If you're Winslow Township, you're hoping you learn some lessons after giving up some yardage. End over end, but short kick. Nugabay charges onto it on the 25-yard line. Finds a seam up the middle, then he is smacked just over the 30.
Gets it up to about the 30-yard line.
Got to, well, let's see what the spot is to the 32-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Paul Six. As again, they were able to make some nice headway to start things off against Winslow Township. So let's see what they can do a second time around. But again, Winslow Township may be learning some lessons. And with the pink armbands is the quarterback, Kevin Johnson. Trips to the right, 1 to the left, and 1 in the backfield. And he'll keep it himself. Little option play as he pitched it out. It's complete. up to the 35-yard line to Jason Williams. So maybe a little veer action here from Paul Six, trying to change things up. Ever see the movie Remember the Titans? They ran the veer in that movie, T.C. Williams High School, back in the early 70s. And the quote was, "The veer is like Novocaine. Give it time, it always works." Paul Six is hoping so. Gain of two on the play. 2nd and 8 from the 34-yard line. And this time it's a straight-up handoff. Nice cut up the middle, but wrapped up on the play was Williams. In on the tackle for a number of Winslow Township players. And it's actually going to go for a loss of 1, 3rd and 9 from the 34-yard line, 33-yard line actually. So after a promising first drive, Paul Six having some issues. But certainly have to give credit to Winslow Township's swarming defense. They'll spread it out as they have the entire game. Trips it a bunch to the right, one to the left, and again one in the backfield. As Johnson is back to throw. Looking over the middle, under pressure, finds a seam, gets through to the 35-yard line, and about to the 37. As he is tackled by the combination of Andrew Needham Jr. and Jeremy Cobb. So it'll be 4th and 5 or so. And I can't imagine them going for it again. But it does look like they are going to punt again. Stuck in their own territory, you don't take a chance, 4th and whatever. As a high floating snap and a spiral kick by Henry Westerman. That bounced at about the 30-yard line. Almost touched off a couple of Winslow Township backs. But it'll fall dead at the 21-yard line, away from the play. Some pushing and shoving. Gilbert Frias and Jeremy Cobb getting together as flags fly. And my guess is it would offset. Very last thing that Winslow Township wants to do here is find themselves in flag trouble. Again, a couple of holding calls offensively last time out, even though it eventually worked out. Certainly not a habit you want to get into. Well, the personal foul is going to be against Paul Six only. So a break here for Winslow Township. As again, the spot right now is the 21-yard line. But they'll be moving that up about 15 yards. And they're still talking it over. And they announced the first down after the penalty once again. Now they decide to move the sticks. They were taking their time with that decision. So instead of 1st and 10 from the 21, 1st and 10 from the 36. So much better field position for Winslow Township, already up 6-0, 3:22 to go in the first quarter. As Bay is in the shotgun, and he's ready to throw, looking over the middle. That pass is complete at the 45-yard line, cut to the middle, but getting wrestled down after the catch was Jalen Cheek. But that will be good enough for a first down, gain of 11 on the play.
Enough for the first down.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 47.
It'll be 1st and 10 after about 11-yard pickup. Right at the 47.
And Winslow Township really not getting together as far as the huddle's concerned. So looking to move quickly. As once again, Bay is back to throw. Looking to the left this time. Diving attempted catch by Isaiah Lewis, but it falls to the turf at the 50-yard line, incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Little out of the reach of Lewis and couldn't quite keep his footing. Did all he could to kind of lean down and bring that in. So 2nd and 10 for Winslow Township. With 2 to the left, 2 to the right, and in the backfield is DeMel Reed. And he'll hand it off to him. Right up the middle he goes. Stopped at the 50. Then he fights through. Keeps those legs moving to the 45-yard line. Eventually dragged down with help from Brandon Morales.
Some positive yardage into Paul Six territory. After about an 8-yard pickup.
So a gain of 8 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2 from the 45-yard line.
45-yard line.
And that is another aspect of the Winslow Township offense. This is pitched out to Reed. Reed, first down and more to the 35. And he's tackled down about the 33 as he got decked by Nugabe. So first down, but a flag is down at the 41-yard line. Interesting spot for that flag. Not exactly in the backfield. Could be a illegal block. It is going to be a hold. So it's actually a hold upfield a little bit. So this will go back into Winslow Township territory. A 49-yard line to be exact. We'll replay third down. It'll be 3rd and 8 on the play. And Bay is back to throw from the shotgun. Passes up and incomplete. Nice spin move by Cheek as he dives over the 40-yard line to the 39. Good enough for a first down for Winslow Township. It'll be 1st and 10 with 2:14 to go here in the first quarter. Again, 6-0 lead for Winslow Township. It seems like Bay is going to go exclusively from the shotgun. The same formation of 2 on either side and 1 on the backfield. He's back to throw at the 50-yard line. Pass over the middle. Nice one-handed catch by Jalen Cheek. He just reached out at the last second right in front of Nolan McGrath and snared that one out of the air. Another first down for Winslow Township as they continue to move the ball. And not much in the way of a huddle as looking over is Bay to the coaching staff. Quick signals, and now it'll be trips to the left, 1 to the right, and a 1 in the backfield, which is Jeremy Cobb, who stays in the block. Back to throw is Bay. Bay looking for the end zone over the middle. It is too strong. Doing a late hit there, at least collision-wise. Kyle Seeger, while he was looking up, ran into Yuka Bay. But after all that, it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. 1:42 to go in the first quarter. A 6-0 lead for Winslow Township.
42 to go in the first quarter. Stick around for the homecoming.
As again, they'll go trips to the left
Activities.
with Lewis, Cobb, and Brown. Actually, it's Lewis, Brown, and Seeger, excuse me. Bay back to throw, rolling out to the left, under pressure. Good block as he steps up, fires to the near side, and that is caught just outside the 10-yard line by Jaden Brown. And that's going to be good enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 9. That is a absolute seed out of the hands of Prince Drew Bay. So into the red zone goes Winslow Township. That's Cobb's in the backfield. And it's 1 receiver on either side. Under center. Handed off as it goes to the 5-yard line. Still digging. Still keeps his feet moving. Dives to the end zone. Touchdown, Winslow Township. Jeremy Cobb just would not give up on the play. He was close to going down at about the 5. Once again at the 3. But again, you keep those legs moving. And you fight through those tackles for another touchdown for Winslow Township. It's now 12-0. They're going to go for the extra point. Last time out, the snap was dropped by the holder, and Dedura couldn't do anything with it. This time he'll try to get a good snap and get it to go through. Good snap picked up, and that is end over end. Good. And with 1:27 to go in the first, it's now 13-0.
13-0. With 1:27 left in the first quarter.
So 2 completely different drives for Winslow Township. First one, they were 2nd and 32 from their own 10-yard line, but Prince Drew Bay worked his magic for a 90-yard run. This time it was a 9-yard run, as Jeremy Cobb was able to power his way through and to pick up the 6 points. So at this, Paul 6 has to try to find a way their third drive to figure out what they did in their first drive that gained them a good 40 yards before the drive eventually stalled. Trying to figure out a way to get back to that first drive. Last time out, it was a 3-and-out, and And that's something they certainly can't afford here relatively early in this game. Again, late in the first quarter, 1:27 to go, and it's already 13-0 Winslow Township. Once again, back to receive for Paul 6 is Asame Inugbe. And he is right next to Nicholas Ocampo, back at the 15-yard line. Last couple of kickoffs from Winslow Township off the foot of Cameron Osborne were short, and Paul 6 was able to charge onto it and get some pretty good yardage. See what they do here. We can get a little deeper this time. As he toes it short once again. That'll be caught at the 23-yard line. Inugbe trying to find room up the middle, but he's swallowed up to the 30. So Paul 6 with 1:21 left to go in the first quarter. We'll go first and 10 from their own 30-yard line. And their last drive netted 2 yards. And that is certainly, well, obviously not going to get it done.
Paul 6 will be starting from their own 30-yard line.
But again, certainly like what Paul 6 did in that first drive, though. They changed things up. Combination of pass and throw. Spread it out, run. Make it tight and pass. Just kind of not exactly a vanilla-style offense. See what they can do here with trips to the right, one to the left, and one man in the backfield. As Johnson's in the shotgun. As he will hand it off, but stopped in the backfield. As Alfred Woods did not get to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of about 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11. And that was at least a 2, maybe 3-man tackle by Winslow Township. That means Paul 6 didn't fool anybody on the play. Clock down to 50 seconds left to go. And counting. Now there's 2 in the backfield. And trips to the left. Now some confusion. And this is looking like it might be a Paul 6 timeout, and that's exactly what it's going to be. And they had trips to the left, but one of them was looking to go into motion or just didn't know where he was supposed to be. So first timeout called by Paul 6. As we're down to 40.6 seconds left to go here in the very first quarter. This is the first home game in a while for Winslow Township. Last home game was actually rained out against Moorestown. They had to play on the Sunday afternoon at Moorestown because not only was that game rained out here at Winslow, they had a marching band competition the next week, so they couldn't host it the next day. So essentially, this is the first home game of the year for Winslow Township. They have a very home-heavy schedule in the later part of the year. And that's good news for Winslow Township as they look to move up the rankings, find themselves in a prime position as far as the playoffs are concerned in the Liberty Conference. So timeout over, 2nd and 11 from the 29-yard line for Paul 6. They'll spread it out, one in the backfield. But Johnson is back to throw, looking to his left. He lofts it up, but that is going to be way too far out of the reach of Nicholas Ocampo. Staying with him step for step was Nasir Mitchell. So even if it was on target, Mitchell was right there on one-on-one coverage. So it'll be 3rd and 11. I kind of like that, though, at least the attempt from Paul 6. He's trying to
3rd down, about 11 to go.
Get a little jolt of excitement for their offense after going 3 and out last time, but again, danger of going 3 and out again. Simple slant play might be the way to go here. Just get to the sticks, turn around, and hope it ends up in your chest. He rolls out right away. Johnson still has room. Gets to the 30-yard line. Pass up ahead, and that is, well, let's see. A little bit out of the reach. And that is caught. Caught at the 45-yard line. An 11-yard play for Paul 6 gets him the first down. That's down to 20 seconds left to go. I don't believe Paul 6 has to call a play here. But jogging in from the sideline, Kevin Johnson, the quarterback. And he's not in any real rush. Does break up the huddle. let's see if they get one more snap off. Wind's against them right now. Wind is blowing right to left in your screen. And that'll do it for the first quarter, as they will not get a play. Now, they made it look good, maybe to try to get Winslow Township to jump. But that does end the first quarter after 1. It's Winslow Township 13 and Paul 6 0. Back in just a moment. You're watching New Jersey high school football. You're on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, we're live from Winslow Township High School. So let's start the second quarter with Winslow Township leading Paul 6 by a score of 13-0. Tom Williams here. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Paul 6 just got their first down of this drive, and they're ready to go. But in the backfield, nice tackle made by Terrell Hiller.
Met in the backfield by Terrell Hiller.
Yeah, it was a quick handoff play again from the shotgun, Kevin Johnson. But Hiller found his way, just snuck through. 5'7", 175, the senior. And not only did he sneak through for the loss, he made a very nice tackle against a player who is outweighing him and outsizing him significantly. So 2nd and 12 now. As now they'll try the screen play. That pass is connected, but caught in the backfield. It was caught at the 40, gain of 2 from there, but it's a loss of 1 on the entire play. So Paul 6 going backwards, 3rd and 13. 3rd and 13 from the 42-yard line. And they have to try to find a way to go back to what works. I can understand changing things up. Maybe they just need to find a way. And the screen just isn't going to work against the speedy defense like Winslow Township. So go 2, actually trips to the left, 1 to the right, 1 in the backfield. Johnson back to throw, looks at the low man on the right, and that is caught to the 50-yard line. Dragged down, he reaches, but does not look like he made it. Nice attempt, though, from Dennis Hallam. 5'10", 150 senior. And this is curious. Wow, they really did not give him much in the way of forward progress. Maybe he stepped out of bounds. Does get into Winslow Township territory. But it is 4th down, 4th and 3 from the 48. And a timeout will be called by Winslow Township. I have a feeling they were expecting punt, as that timeout happened very quickly after Paul 6 came out of the huddle. So my guess is he didn't like the personnel package and didn't want to take a chance. So first timeout called by Winslow Township. Now to 10:36 to go here in the second quarter, 13-0 in favor of Winslow Township. Battle of the Eagles here in the Liberty Conference of the West Jersey Football League. Thank you all for joining us today. Full day of high school football here on Play-by-Play Sports. Earlier today, it was Petty School with a matchup against the Hill School. Glad you switched on over if you were watching that one to check out some South Jersey action between Winslow Township and Paul 6. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the Winslow Township marching band positioned perfectly right in front of our crowd, Mike. I apologize if it's a little bit loud, but you know what? They're creating a great atmosphere here at Winslow Township High School. Paul 6 is ready to go. It'll be 4th and 3 from The Winslow Township 48-yard line. Big play as Johnson's in the shotgun. And a man on the line jumps. Looks like it'll be Jasim Letsom. And that will be good enough for a first down for Paul Six. Again, in spite of Winslow Township being up 13-0, they've had some penalty issues. A couple of offensive holding calls and a couple of defensive offsides plays as well. First attempted play from scrimmage in the entire game was an offside, and that one was as well. Kind of like those penalties. You can understand the penalties of aggressiveness. He wants to get a real good jump. Patience is good, too. So first and 10 from the 43-yard line. Johnson back to throw, looking to the left on the slant, and that is deflected.
Good pass that's deflected by Cameron Osborne.
That was a very nice deflection. And as it looked like it was about to sneak through, they had one man on the slant. That was Dennis Hallam. And if that pass does connect, yeah, great speed through the secondary. And might have been able to sneak through for 6, but instead it was knocked down at the linebacker level. It'll be second and 10 now. From the 43-yard line, 10:32 to go. Here in the first half of play, 13-0 Winslow Township. 2 left, 1 right, 1 in the backfield. Johnson in the shotgun. Calls for it, looks to the left right away. They'll try that slant, and that is caught.
Caught by number 2.
And that is a nice play for Osmai Anugabe. And I don't think it was him that it was intended for. Nicholas Ocampo went down and streaking through. It was Anugabe. And that is good enough for, well, let's see what the snap, where the, yeah, they're going to give him the first down. It looked like it was just short. But we're not exactly at the perfect angle from up here in the booth. So it'll be first and 10 from the 33.
So first and 10.
So once again, Paul Six marching. Again, they had a pretty good first drive. Bad second drive of 3 and out. And this one, at one point, was 3rd and 11. But now they're starting to move. Back to throw Johnson. Looks left, now goes to the right. Pass is caught. Trying to spin away, it was Hallam. Good tackle made. And that'll be a gain of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4. As they are inside the 30-yard line to the 27. So, yep, 2nd and 4. As again, Johnson brings his troops out of the huddle. It'll be a big score if Paul Six can pull it off, down 13-0 early in the second. As he's back to throw, looking to the left right away. Pocket collapses, and he goes down. Looks like he almost dropped it and then landed on top of it. Jamel Kwan will get credit for the sack. So that'll push things back all the way to the 33-yard line. And yep, it'll be 3rd and 10 now. So forward, then backward here for Paul Six. And the offensive line got to give by at least 3 seconds to get a pass off. It collapsed in about 1.5, 2 seconds. But for the most part, the offensive line has been very good for Paul Six. A lot of scrambling defensively here for Winslow Township. They're not quite set as Johnson is back to throw. Looks to the right, and that is incomplete to the right side. Nicholas Ocampo didn't get to the sticks anyway, as that falls right between his hands. And again, it was a low throw. It would have been tough to really pick up, so it'll be 4th and 10. And it does look like, well, let's see. Looks like, yep, Paul Six is looking to punt here. That or they're going field goal. Wow, this would be a 50-yard field goal. That is some serious leg at the high school level. As Kevin Johnson will hold Henry Westerman. Fires it end over end, but this will be well short, but through the end zone, away from the potential return of Isaiah Lewis. And that is a really tough attempt, 50 yards, with the wind not really helping at all. So they gave it a shot, why not?
First and 10.
So it will be 1st and 10 from the 20.
Their own 20-yard line.
And either they've given him a shot at 50 before in practice and he's hit him or come close, or they figure, what the heck, it's as good as a punt, especially if it goes into the end zone. And maybe you get lucky and try to get some points on the board, but Paul Six couldn't do it. 8:15 left to go. You're in the second quarter. Still 13-0 in favor of Winslow Township. They can really put in a dagger here in the first half as they spread it out with trips to the right, one to the left, one man in the backfield, as Bay is in the shotgun. And a lot of movement on that line on both sides. And let's see, it'll be false start against Winslow Township. And judging by the reaction of Letsom, it may have been on him. He's kind of looking over going, what did I do? But maybe it was more of a reaction to what somebody else on the line did. Either way, that'll move things back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 from their own 15. And penalties and turnovers killed. There have been no turnovers, but penalties against Winslow Township. But they're leading 13-0. They'll spread it out once again, essentially the same lineup. Same formation. Low snap, but picked up by Bay. Bay looking to his right, brings it back down. Flag in the backfield. So this may all come back, but Bay is going to take off the 30-yard line, gets tripped up by Nicholas Ocampo. But again, holding against Winslow Township.
18, however, we have flags all over the place.
As that was pretty much thrown by the back judge right away. That's one of those tough situations where you go, just blow the whistle, Dad, so you don't have to tease with the length of the play. So this is going to come back even further, depending on where the spot of the foul is. As that'll go to the 7-yard line. Sideline warning as well against Winslow Township. Little exuberant. And you can understand a little bit of frustration in spite of the lead. Again, a lot of laundry on the field so far. Certainly can't rest here on Prince Drew Bay. So he does have a 90-yard run. That was second in forever. This time he hands it off. Here's Demel Reed. He'll get to the original line of scrimmage over the 20-yard line to the 22. Nice solid gain on first down. And now it's more of a realistic second. Well, spot at the 23-yard line, 2nd and 7. This is once again handed off to Reed. Thought about going right, now he goes left and has some room. As he's eventually tackled down by Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson doing double duty, little Ironman football. Again, this is a pretty short roster for Paul Six, so you expect some guys to go both sides of the ball. But that run by Reed, good enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 32. Clock continues to move, and so does the offense for Winslow Township at 7:22 to go in the first half, leading 13-0. In spite of the one man in the backfield and the spread formation, you never know what Winslow Township's going to do. It's just going to be a keeper for Bay. Thought about the pitch, instead he goes right up the middle, takes 2 tacklers with him, and he'll gain 5. As he gets to at least the 38-yard line, 39-yard line is where they spot it.
Offensive play, check that. About the 39-yard line. That's a 7-yard pickup.
So that is 7 yards, 2nd and 3. Again, they're sticking with the same formation, really not going into a huddle. With trips to the right, one to the left, and in the backfield is one. Now Bay will roll out to the right. Still looking up the sideline, tosses it deep, has a man, but a little bit too strong for Josh Hughes. Very late break for Hughes, certainly a broken play, but it almost worked, and it'll be 3rd down. And there were 3 receivers to the right side, all kind of mired around the sideline. And then Hughes took off as Bay tried to loft it to him, just a little bit too strong. But it is certainly a manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 3 from the 39. Down to 6:36 to go here in the first half of play. Everyone looking at the little playbooks on the wrists. In the backfield is Jeremy Cobb. And they'll hand it off to him. Goes right up the middle, then cuts to the left, and he'll get through to the 50-yard line, and he is spun down. But good enough for the first down for Winslow Township. Brandon Morales on the tackle. But the chains will move. That'll be 1st and 10 from the 47 of Paul 6 as Winslow. And if they can avoid the flags, they've done a very good job of running and passing all over Paul 6. Once again, Bay is back to throw, looking for the slant, but the pass is low. Looked like he spiked it about 4 yards short of Gilbert Frias. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 47. And again, Winslow Township really not needing to show any panic. Simply because every time they've been in a long yardage situation, they've been able to persevere. And so far, it's their 3rd drive. 2 previous drives turned into touchdowns. Paul 6, they've had 3 drives. A stalled drive, a 3-and-out, and a missed field goal of 50 yards. This is handed off, trying to get around the edge, and doing so nicely here is Reed. Then he'll cut to the left side, trying to squeeze up the middle, still on his feet to the 25-yard line, but flags fly. And let's see what that will be. The initial indication looks like it might be against Winslow Township, as they're going to get together. And let's see what the call will be. It'll be an illegal block against Winslow Township. Again, penalties hurting Winslow Township. Again, does he get that yardage? Well, actually, I think he does. That flag threw very late. But it is going to come back just a little bit. It will be a 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 35, so not a massive loss of yardage, as Bay is in the shotgun, looking to the left right away. Now goes up the middle, and that is caught at the 20-yard line. Trying to cut around is Isaiah Lewis, but he's tackled on the play by Brandon Morales. And that's good enough for another 1st down, gain of 15 on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 19, so a gain of 16, actually. As we're getting to the later stages of this first half. And Winslow Township is marching. Bay is back to throw, looking to his left. Good containment. It goes up the middle into the end zone. Oh, a big hit. Touchdown, Winslow Township. Isaiah Lewis got rocked in the end zone, but he holds on. A huge play. As Winslow Township adds 6. Winslow Township player down in the end zone. I think that's the man who actually threw the hit onto Lewis, but Lewis so strong. Able to just hang on to that again. I think he was actually hit twice, sandwiched. But he nestled his way into the end zone. And it was a really nice throw by Bay. Lewis was the only one who's going to be able to catch it. So pending the PAT, right now 19-0 Winslow Township. But the concern right now is on the field. I hope it's just some kind of a stinger, as I believe that's Osamai Anugabe. So he is in considerable discomfort down there, but training staff is down there, is able to get to his feet. But wow, talk about that pass from Prince Drew Bay. Again, right into the numbers of Isaiah Lewis, and again, he was rocked, hit hard, sandwiched, but still found a way to hang on to the ball. Again, a 15-yard strike makes it a 19-0 game. It's down to 5:29 to go in the first half of play.
So after that pass and catch, Winslow goes ahead 19-0. And we are attempting the extra point.
Looks like Winslow Township will go for the extra point. Josh Hughes Backup quarterback and holder, Daniel DeDura. Will try to pick up the extra point. He's 1 for 2 on PATs. First one wasn't his fault as the snap was no good. The snap is high, brought down nicely, end over end, and it is good. So now with 5:29 left to go here in the first half of play, it's all Winslow Township by a score of 20-0. And there have been some nice flashes from Paul Six, but Winslow Township able to overcome some of their own deficiencies as far as penalties are concerned, and now have themselves a 3-score lead. And it is homecoming here at Winslow Township. So we're going to actually do our best to try to at least clue you in as to what's going on during halftime. Normally the marching band would play, but they played at the pregame. So they have the homecoming festivities as far as announcing the King's court and all that fun stuff. King, Queen, and the court. Looks like Paul Six is changing things up as far as who is back to receive this kick. Dennis Hallam is back there along with Jason Williams. First time we've called Williams' name. Back to kick things off, Cameron Osborne. He's been kicking them short at about the 25-yard line. See what he can pull off here. As end over end goes back to the 15. So got more leg into it, and that is caught by Hallam. He'll try to go to the right side. He's met at the 30 and then wrestled down by Terrell Hiller.
Dennis Hallam.
So it will be a 1st and 10 for Paul Six from the 31-yard line. So they have 5:22 to work with here in the second quarter. Again, you could certainly find the positives for Paul Six. 2 of their 3 drives had some significant yardage to it. They just stalled. That tends to happen when you shorten the field. Less for the secondary to cover. They can sneak up. That's exactly what happened to Paul Six. So when they're in their own side of the field, they're able to move up because there's more territory for Winslow Township to cover. But once it gets shortened up a bit, Winslow Township is able to bottle things up. 1 to the right, 2 to the left, 1 in the backfield. Again in the shotgun, Kevin Johnson, who again is playing Iron Man, playing some defensive back as well. This is handed off, but a big wrap-up tackle by Letsom. He has made his presence felt defensively in this game. As the handoff to Jason Williams getting his first action, the freshman at 5'7", 140. Again, Paul Six is trying something new, just trying to figure out the key to break this defensive deadlock. But it is a loss of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 13 from the 23-yard line, 22-yard line rather. Johnson back to throw, looks to the left, pocket collapses, he lofts it up to the right side, but that is incomplete. A lot of hand fighting, but it looked like it was uncatchable anyway. Prince Drew Bay doing double duty as well with some nice coverage. So 3rd and long. One advantage to not going into huddles either defensively or offensively. You can't have too many in there. Right there at one point, there were 14 men on the field for Winslow Township. They'll tighten things up, Paul Six will. Johnson back to throw, and he is wrapped up and sacked. Kyle Seeger got around the edge, draped around his hips, and brought him down.
For Winslow, it's number 9.
So another big loss, this one of about 4. So 4th and long for Paul Six, and they'll be forced to punt. So a 3 and out for Paul Six. High floating snap, they're going to go after it, and flags fly before the punt. Again, a lot of volume in the stands here, so not always easy for us to hear whistles. And they blow it down. And it is a false start.
We have a legal procedure by the offense. Still fourth down.
So that'll move things back even further for Paul Six. So Henry Westerman showed off his leg earlier. He attempted a 50-yard field goal and was short by only about 5 yards. As he'll be forced to punt once again. High floating snap, and it's fumbled, and he gets the snap, the kick off rather. Not very far to the 35-yard line. Takes a Paul Six bounce to the 38. While Westerman finds himself very fortunate to at least get that one off, but great field position for Winslow Township. So they can really try to put this game away in the first half. Down to 3:50 to go in the second quarter, 20-0 in favor of Winslow Township. I think that's something Winslow Township learned after the first punt by Paul Six, the long snapper. He was able to get it there, but it was a floater, really wasn't direct. So when you have those slow change-up kind of snaps, you know what? You go after it because it's that much more time for the punter to try to deal with. Two to the right, two to the left, one in the backfield for Winslow Township. Bay back to throw after the shotgun. Man gets loose as he'll go deep to the end zone on the right side. That is caught. Oh, it goes through the hands of Cheek. Just couldn't bring it in. It went right through his forearms. That should have been a catch and touchdown. But just could not bring it in. So it'll be 2nd and 10. And I like what Winslow Township's thinking here. Trying to put this game away right now. In front of a full set of stands here at homecoming for Winslow Township. So 2nd and 10. From the 38-yard line. They'll bunch it up a bit with two to the left. Fake the handoff. Bay is back to throw. He'll step up in the pocket. Jumping throw to the far side. That is caught at the 25-yard line, cutting towards the end zone. But short by about 12 yards is Josh Hughes. That's good enough for a first down for Winslow Township. And that was certainly not the initial design of the play. But after it was broken, Hughes did a great job of coming back and getting the attention of Prince Drew Bay. Very athletic throw as well on the run and across his body. So 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Bay back to throw. So he swings it out to Brown. Brown with plenty of room to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Winslow Township. Jaden Brown. A quick 13-yard strike, and it's now 26-0. And that is a wrinkle of the offense that Paul Six hasn't seen so far. So they had no idea how to deal with it. So maybe at this point, do they go for two? I don't see a kicker out there at this point, unless Cobb's going to kick. Right now, Bay is talking to everybody on the line individually. So they may be trying something interesting here. A lot of time being used, though. Bay's going to go under center, so they're going to go for two on the play. As he's back to throw. Rolls to the right, looking across his body towards the end zone, and that is incomplete, just out of the reach of Kyle Seeger. So with 3:14 left to go in the first half, it's now 26-0 in favor of Winslow Township. Can't imagine what the offense would have been able to do, how quick they would have been able to do it without the large number of penalties. They've had some holding calls against them. They've had some offsides calls. And a couple of blocks in the back as well. But even the officials, as right as they were on the penalties, unable to stop the offense of Winslow Township in this one. Leading big late here in the first half. There's an opportunity here for Paul Six. And for Winslow Township, mostly Winslow Township, to in the second half maybe kind of think about going deeper into the depth chart, getting some younger guys some experience. And Paul Six may have to go through the same thing as well. Jason Williams is back to receive, along with Drew Williams for Paul Six. I believe that's Drew Williams, number 8. He's ready to kick it off, Cameron Osborne. And not exactly powering him through the end zone, but certainly effective enough. Yeah, but it is Williams and Williams. Back deep for Paul Six. Here comes the kick, end over end. And that'll be caught at the 17-yard line by Dennis Hallam, I believe that was, actually. Yep, that's number 9, not number 8, excuse me. So it wasn't Drew Williams, Dennis Hallam.
Assisted by Anthony Camper.
Gets a decent gain on that. Decent return. Gets to the 29-yard line. So 1st and 10. So it's been back and forth for Paul Six, even though none of the drives have yielded anything. First drive good. Second one was 3 and out. Third one good. Fourth one 3 and out. So let's see what they can do here. Not a lot of time to work with. 3:08 to go in the first half. And trailing 26-0. So they'll have to work quickly. And again, they can pick up some points here. 6 or 7 would certainly be preferable, but anything on the board just to get some positive momentum. Johnson is back to throw. He'll roll to the right. He's being chased, and he is hit hard. The ball is loose and picked up by Winslow Township, and they'll go in for the score. Touchdown, Winslow Township. A huge hit in the backfield as Jeremy Cobb chased him down. And Winslow Township picks up 6 more. And it's now 32-0.
Go for the extra point.
So Emerald Mitchell will get the touchdown. The freshman, Johnny on the spot, able to scoop up the loose ball after the huge hit by Jeremy Cobb. It looks like they will go for 2 once again, as Bay's going to go under center. And it looks like they're actually short a man. So racing on Cameron Osborne, and normally the kicker. Bay under center, back to throw, fakes the pitch, then hands it off to Cobb. Cobb to the outside, in for the 2 points, but a flag flies. And then flags late as well. So certainly will be 2 fouls on the play. 1 during and 1 after. So we'll keep an eye on the referee and see how this all shakes out. And the initial foul came from the back of the end zone. Potentially block in the back or maybe defensive holding. And certainly the flag after it was a personal foul, as a couple of players got together, maybe a push or a shove thrown. But judging by the huddle here from Winslow Township, they may have to try this one again. Just about all the officials are getting together to try to decide what to do here. And it may not have big bearing as far as this game is concerned, as far as the scoring is concerned. But there was a personal foul after the play that could have ramifications for the rest of the game, as far as personnel is concerned. Long discussion here as they'll pick up the flags without a decision. I think what they're doing is, again, this is not necessarily offsetting because they're not equal. And here we go. Holding against Winslow Township. Then after the play, a personal foul it looked like. So now Winslow Township's coaching staff wants to talk things over there. What happened in there? Well, Winslow Township about to run the play, but nobody allowed them to. Ball will be spotted back at the 6-yard line, so they may bring it back even further. Nope, it's going to be a spot foul, 5 yards. And again, not exactly sure how the second foul is enforced here. Maybe instead of being a loss of 10, a loss of 5 on the play is that the difference between the two fouls. Again, the holding carries a 10-yarder while the personal foul's a 15. So maybe that is how they decided it. Again, if they were equal fouls, you just do it again. Called offsetting. Officials are still talking it over, so not exactly sure what they're going to do here. Again, we're just keeping an eye on the officiating staff. The coaching staff for Paul Six, they're trying to work things out for the rest of this game. Again, trailing 32 or more to nothing. Not even into halftime yet. So adjustments will have to be made here for Paul Six if they want to keep it somewhat competitive for the second half of play. So they'll go through the penalties again. Not exactly sure what the touchdown signal was for, because this is now the PAT. Or in this case, it looks like they're still going to go for it. So the 2-point conversion attempt from 6 yards out. They fake the handoff, rolling out as Bay, looking to the end zone. Sliding attempted catch, but it's incomplete, as Jaden Brown couldn't bring it in. So the 2 points no good. And after all of that, 2:55 left to go here in the first half of play. It is Winslow Township 32, Paul 6 nothing. Well, thank everyone for joining us this evening here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Tom Wilms here. Thanks so much for joining us. And busy day here at Play-by-Play Sports with the Petty School game earlier, and now Winslow Township today, or this evening rather. And Winslow Township has been close to dominant. If not for penalties, this could be even more of a score difference and would have been even quicker. And it started off very well for Paul Six as they got a good drive going. It stalled at about the 30-yard line. They went for it, didn't work. Then, thanks to penalties and some pretty good defense, Paul Six actually forced a 2nd and 32 from their own 10-yard, from Winslow Township's 10-yard line. But Prince Drew Bay, 90-yard run, sneaking through tackles, kind of set the tone for the rest of the game, at least at this point. So now we'll finally get a kickoff. As we also have our first turnover of the game. It was a fumble recovery by Emerald Mitchell. That led to the last score. End over end kick all the way back to the 10-yard line. Sneaking through with a hole. Here's Drew Williams. He is tackled down at the 45-yard line. Correction, that is Dennis Hallam. But a great return. Is slow to get up as Andrew Needham Jr. for Winslow Township. But a nice return for Paul Six. Again, desperate for any kind of positive momentum. And hopping up is Needham. He's just been shaken up a little bit, winded maybe. So he's actually not putting a whole lot of positive weight on that right leg. So he's just going to amble off. And he wants to go back into that huddle, but probably best served at this point with the scoreline being what it is to just take a seat for the rest of the half, get looked at, and make sure he's all right. So 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Again, a nice return to set up Paul Six here. Still spread it out a bit. 2 to the right, 1 to the left, 2 in the backfield. This one is kept by Johnson, but he is dragged and spun back. That's a nice tackle by Mitchell. So no gain. It'll be a 1st and actually 2nd and 10 from the 45-yard line.
From the 45.
Winslow Township looking for a little bit of a blitz. But instead, Johnson with the screen pass. As that connects with Ocampo. Gets the first down and more as he's short of the 30-yard line, but right at the final hit, a flag flies. So my guess, it looks like it's going to be against the defense. Maybe he didn't like the hit. Unless there was a block we didn't see. They'll pick up the flag, and it will be against Winslow Township, even though we don't have a signal just yet, but already both sets of players are heading to the left. Yep. Looks like some head contact against Winslow Township. So that's a personal foul. Another 15 yards will be tacked on. Again, very tough to say that penalties have hurt Winslow in this game, leading 32-0, but they have. And now Paul 6, with 2:03 to go in the first half, are inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 17, actually 16-yard line. They'll spread it out again. Johnson in the shotgun. He's going to go right at the middle after the snap. Squeezes through, then ball's down. It's loose, then picked up by Winslow Township. Eric Cintron through the shoulder and then picked it up. So a disastrous turnover here for Paul 6, and they have a man down. It looks like it actually might be the quarterback, Kevin Johnson. Second turnover and second straight drive that ends in a turnover for Paul 6. So Paul 6, again, their best field position of the entire day, getting inside the red zone. So maybe Johnson trying to do too much. Again, they've tried that spread out play with 5 receivers, nobody in the backfield. Again, it fooled Winslow once, but 2 or 3 times after it hasn't. They've been able to snuff it out that time, causing the turnover and potentially the injury here to Johnson. And a couple of other options at quarterback for Paul 6. That's the junior Will Potter and the sophomore Joe Gledhill. But most importantly right now, the concern to the senior Kevin Johnson, who honestly has not had a bad game. And no passing turnovers. The only turnover was that, for him at least, was that fumble. Actually, both of the fumbles came out of his hands. One was a blind side hit in the backfield. Turned into a fumble and a touchdown. And this one, he went headlong into contact and was met by at least 4 Winslow Township Eagles. And a lot of time being taken with Johnson. And hopefully he's all right. There have been a couple of injured players here for Paul 6, but he's now sitting up after being on his back. Hard-hitting game as you would expect. Once you get into league or conference play, the intensity just ratchets up that much more, especially the later you get into October. Everyone trying to find a way as far as playoff positioning is concerned. Paul 6 trying to get something on the board as far as a win is concerned. They are 0-5 on the year. While Winslow, they are 2-2. And are looking quite good to move over 500. But after that play, as slowly being walked off is Johnson. After the fumble, it'll be 1st and 10 for Winslow Township from their own 12-yard line or so. 1:48 to go, and they've got 2 timeouts remaining. Bay is back to throw, looking left the whole way, passes low, and unable to scoop it up is Isaiah Lewis. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Winslow Township. Yeah, right now, Winslow Township really not changing much up at all. Why do they need to? Everything they've done has seemed to work. Every drive has turned into a touchdown. The only reason this one may not is because of time. They'll spread it out again with 2 on each side and 1 in the backfield. Bay back to throw. Pump fakes. Looking deep over to the left side into double coverage, and that is up and intercepted. Brandon Morales fouled out the whole way as that pass was intended for Isaiah Lewis. First turnover of the game for Winslow Township. And Paul Six gets a little bit of life here with 1:35 to go in the first half. Still trailing 32-0. Paul Six will take over with very good field position. But again, not a lot of time to work with. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. So now the question is, who is in at quarterback? And it looks like it is Joe Gledhill, the sophomore. 5'11", 175. Gledhill in the shotgun. Trips to the left, 1 to the right, 1 in the backfield. Gledhill back to throw. Looks left, throws right. It's intercepted at the 45-yard line.
It's the Prince.
Prince Drew Bay read that one very well. And was that close to a pick 6, but 3 drives, at least the last 3 for Paul Six, and now 3 turnovers. So now a huge opportunity for Winslow Township. And that was a 20-yard return for Bay, doing it on both sides of the field. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. 1:25 to go in the first half, and 2 timeouts remaining for Winslow Township. So plenty of time. They'll bunch it up a bit with 2 receivers on either side and 1 man in the backfield. Bay in the shotgun, back to throw. Goes all the way back to the 35-yard line. Looking over the middle, and that is caught by Lewis. Lewis cuts to the outside to the 10, 5, dives, touchdown, Winslow Township. Somersaults over the goal line for the score for the Eagles. And with 1:15 left to go, it's now 38-0. Short pass, but not incredibly short by Bay. But the way he was back there with all the time that he had, thought that maybe he'd go directly to the end zone. But he found his man as they are going to go for the standard PAT. Daniel Dedura. He's 1 for 3 so far. Actually, 2 for 3, excuse me. Kick is low to the left, but it sneaks through, and it is good. So with 1:15 left to go, it is now 39-0 in favor of Winslow Township. And it just seems that every time that Paul Six gets any kind of a break, even a turnover, is having trouble doing anything with it, as their last 3 drives have ended on turnovers. 2 fumbles, one of them a fumble into the end, or fumble that turned into a touchdown directly. And then they pick off the interception by Bay that took exactly 1 play to turn into a touchdown. A 25-yard strike. So a huge lead here for Winslow, again 39-0. And with Paul Six forced to go deeper onto the bench, their backup quarterback, it is looking tough for Paul Six as Winslow is rolling. Looks like it is Holland back to receive, along with Jason Williams. Holland to the left, Williams closer to the camera to the right. End over end kick. Holland charges it and catches inside the 20-yard line. Looks to cut up the middle, but he is tackled down. Big pile up. But he gets to just over the 30-yard line at the 31. 1:07 left to go here in the second. And Paul 6 will try to get some positive yardage here. Again, not a whole lot of time to work with, but again, still 2 timeouts.
Still time left in the first half. Minute 7 left. They'll be starting right there.
They'll spot on the 30, so they move it back a yard. And it'll be intriguing to see who is under center. It will be Gledhill once again. 1 throw, 1 interception. A lot of movement on the line. But who jumped first? And it is going to be a false start against Paul 6. So they'll move it back 5 yards. It'll be first and 15 from the 25. And the last thing they need right now is to get themselves into flag trouble.
25-yard line.
Maybe some younger personnel coming into the game for Paul 6. Maybe a little bit of ants in the pants. Gledhill back to throw. Looks to the right, and that is caught. Wrapped up right away by Jaden Brown. Nice catch by Nicholas Ocampo. Short gain on the play in spite of the big hit. Not a whole lot in the way of positivity.
7 yards good.
Gain of 7. So a much more manageable second down. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 32. Clock down at 35 seconds and counting here in the first half of play. Maybe they'll get one more, maybe 2 if they hurry. This will be a quarterback keeper. Gledhill cuts to the outside. But he is met at the 37-yard line by Jalen Cheek. Clock is stopped. Timeout will be called by Paul 6. They'll have 1 remaining. They're looking to try to get something rolling here. Again, only 18 seconds left. And a quarterback keeper up the middle. Certainly not the way to do it, but maybe if you break one. So maybe they'll give it a shot. Maybe we'll see what kind of arm Gledhill has as well. Again, his first pass. It looked good out of the arm. Just was to the wrong man. But what this is also doing here for Gledhill, again, only a sophomore. He's getting some very, very good experience here against the top Winslow Township defense. He could find a way to get some success. May not yield much as far as this season is concerned, but again, 2 more years of eligibility after this year. So maybe, just maybe, this is something that the Paul 6 faithful can look forward to. Just something for the future. Gledhill has Alfred Woods in the backfield, another substitution, so to speak. As he fakes the handoff to Woods, passes over, and that is incomplete, as Ocampo was already down, but he still decided to try to connect to him. Again, if you catch it on the ground, it's legal. It's a catch. You can't advance it. But it would have been a nice play. So now it's 4th down. They're going to go for it. 4th and 2. .7 seconds left to go. Gledhill fakes the handoff, looks right, looks left, flushed out of the pocket, looking for help, tosses it upfield, it's intercepted. Jumping catch by Isaiah Lewis. He goes up the sideline, might have some room, cuts to the middle, breaks into a tackle, and he's going to go score. Touchdown, Winslow Township. Well, Paul 6 tried to make something happen, but a pick 6 is how the second quarter will end. 45-0, pending the PAT. What an offensive and defensive explosion here from Winslow Township. Now all that's left is the point after try, which will be attempted by Daniel Dadura. Late entrance into the game for Paul 6.
Out for the extra
How
point.
many guys do they have out there? Looks like they have the 11 as flags fly. So the kick is not even judged. It did go through, but it won't count.
Flags on the play.
And it is too many on the field. Yep, they did have too many. They had 12. It's jogging off. Lucas Hogan. So even though the PAT went through the uprights, they'll have to do it again. As they'll go half the distance to the goal line. Now, is there a second man coming off for Paul 6? That means they had 13 out there. Essentially from the same spot. And they may not even bother moving the ball. They may have just declined the penalty at this point. They do decline the penalty.
Players on ball 6. It's only 40 ball up. It's not a half a yard.
Can't even call 12 men on the field because there was probably 13. Well, we'll do it again. High snap. Good job by the holder to bring it down, and it is good. So at the half,
So at the half,
all Winslow Township,
Eagles, 46.
46-0 over Paul 6. We'll take a break and come back with third quarter action in just a few minutes. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, we are live from Winslow Township High School. And it's been all Winslow Township in this one as we start third quarter action. Winslow Township leading 46-0 over Paul 6. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Tom Williams here. And we'll certainly see some different wrinkles from both teams, I would expect, with the scoreline being what it is. To see some fresh faces out there. To make matters a little bit worse for Paul 6, they actually have to kick off. Winslow will be receiving. Isaiah Lewis and Jaden Brown will be back to receive. Again, expect to see some backups, some of the underclassmen that normally may not get the opportunity to play. But certainly some important snaps coming up for both teams, looking for experience. Again, may not matter as far as the result in this game, as Henry Westerman is about to kick it off for Paul 6. But as far as the futures of both of these programs, try to build some depth throughout the rest of this one. And it's been a rough one for Paul 6. It made even rougher with their last 4 offensive series, all ending in turnovers. This is an end-over-end kick all the way to the end zone, powered in by Henry Westerman. Jaden Brown catches it, but cannot advance it. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 20. And it'll be interesting to see if Prince Drew Bay comes out to pad his stats a little bit, or maybe help give some of the experience to some of the younger wide receivers and running backs. Or will it be somebody else? Is Kyle Seeger a little bit late to get into the huddle? Oh, now he's going to be told to sit down. So it is going to be Bay still in the QB position for the green-clad Winslow Township Eagles, Paul 6. Also nicknamed the Eagles. They are in the white and in the blue. 2 receivers on either side. One of the backfields. Bay is in the shotgun, as he will hand it off. As DeMel Reed gets over the 25-yard line. Modest gain. Gain of 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 3, it looks like. I'll expect a whole lot of running from Winslow Township. As it's handed off once again to Reed. Little stutter step move. Gets over the 30-yard line to the 35 and then stopped at the 37. Continues to move his legs as he drags Anugabe a couple of yards. But it is good for a 1st down. It'll be a gain of 13 on the play. 1st and 10 from the 40. Bay pitches it out. Here's Reed, the 45 over midfield, and he is somersaulted down. It's tackled by Jason Williams. Little WWE move to get him down. But good enough for the 1st down. Ball spotted on the 46-yard line of Paul 6. So Winslow Township basically continuing from where they left off in the 1st half, continuing the march. Pass up ahead is a little low. Unable to bring it in was Dedura. And that's something that Bay's had. If you're going to find nitpick some issues here for Winslow Township, guilty of some penalties. And some of the throws from Bay have been a little bit off the mark. Again, with not a lot of real pressure against them, kind of understand it being a little lax. The outcome of this game pretty much decided in the 1st quarter. Bay is back to throw. 2nd and 10. Looking to the right now, goes over the middle, has a man in the triple coverage, deflected, and it is down. Incomplete. Jason Williams got a chunk of that one again. Dangerous throwing into triple coverage. Josh Hughes was the intended receiver. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Clock down to 9:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. The scoreline being what it is, they're going with a running clock. Bay's in the shotgun with trips to the left, one to the right, and again, one man in the backfield. As Bay gets the handoff off, a little bit of delay to Cobb. Cobb gets to the 40, 35, so first down and more as he cuts to the inside, spins to the 20 as he takes a couple of tackles with him. But he is eventually down inside the 20-yard line. The tackle by Brandon Morales with some help from Jason Williams. So into the red zone goes Winslow Township. And Louis first and 10 as they spot the ball on the 18-yard line.
All the way into the red zone, first and 10.
So Bay once again in the shotgun. As he'll hand it off again, this time to Hiller. Gets over the 20-yard line, back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 or 2.
That was Terrell Hiller. Gets it up to about a 1 yard gain, about 17. Second and 9.
In on the tackle was Preston Verling. Big senior lineman at 6'3", 270. Gain of 1 on the play, second and 9 from the 17-yard line. Bay back to throw. Goes over the middle, and that is into the end zone. Touchdown, Winslow Township. Kyle Seeger with the sliding catch. Couple of yards inside the end zone. So add another 6 points for Winslow Township, and it's now 52-0.
Soaring into the second half.
Again, this is the opportunity to try something new if you want, maybe a new PAT play, 2-point conversion play, but they are going to actually go to the backup kicker. Aaron Kazi getting his first PAT attempt. Kazi, the junior, 5'9", 155, and that is tipped at the line. That's no good. And still nitpicking. That's another issue that Winslow Township has had, is missing some extra points, a couple of blocks, and some unsuccessful 2-point conversions. But again, it's really nitpicking because it's been all Winslow Township, 52-0. With 7:46 to go here in the third quarter. Pretty much a workmanlike drive of 80 yards. Really no dynamic plays, but just solid gains. 10, 12 a pop. And right now, Paul 6, no answer. Again, we mentioned earlier they had a bit of a shorter bench than Winslow Township, and that's going to rear its ugly head. Again, there's going to be a little bit in the way of stamina issues, as you would kind of expect. By the way, coming up next for both of these clubs, next Friday night, Winslow Township will be at Hamilton for a non-conference game. Paul 6 gets a bye next week. So in 2 weeks, they'll be at home against Moorestown. And that'll be, at this point at least, a battle at the bottom of the Liberty. So that'll be a huge game. Again, the last thing you want to do is end up at the bottom of a division. So a chance for both of those teams to pick up wins. Well, you know what? Hamilton may be getting one tonight. Again, 2 other games going on in the conference, of course. As kicking off will be Kazi. So he's getting his first chance to kick off here. End over end. Bit of a short kick to the 25-yard line. Picked up by Paul 6 and Jason Williams. Trying to get up the middle, but he is decked at the 35-yard line. And on the tackle is Terrell Hiller. But it will be first and 10 for Paul 6, and they have had some decent drives in this one. But they've stalled. They've taken some chances, especially in, I'd say, their last 2, maybe 3 offensive series in the first half of play, where they're just trying to make something happen. And again, their last 4 series has been fumble, interception, and then interception, touchdown. Well, that first fumble also went directly to a touchdown. So let's see what can be done by Paul 6. Snap is low and then drop, but the flags fly. And it will be a false start as Joe Gledhill stays in the game at quarterback. And the starter, Kevin Johnson, while trying a quarterback keeper, was knocked out of the game. We do see him on the sideline, but arms folded and most likely not coming back into the game. So a chance here for Gledhill, the sophomore, to get some reps. As the clock continues to roll, 6:39 to go in the third quarter. Gledhill in the shotgun with 2 to the right, 1 to the left, 1 in the backfield. As he hands it off, but getting tackled right away is Alfred Woods. And then flag flies late, so maybe something after the play. Yeah, this is where frustrations can show, and again, last thing you need is to get tossed from this game, draw some extra discipline. It is going to be a personal foul against Winslow. Again, they're the last team. They have no frustration, up 52-0. That might have been a retaliation. But again, you're also seeing some players who may not necessarily get into games, so their intensity level may be high. And what makes it interesting, again, Winslow Township has been penalized a bunch. And they're leading 52-0. Now, take away the penalties and some of the mistakes they've made, the scoreline is even more lopsided. So after the penalty, the result, essentially a 9-yard gain. So 1st and 1 from the 46. Gledhill fakes the handoff, spins away from a tackler, gets over the 45, so it'll be a first down. And he is tackled down. Kyle Seeger in on the tackle, along with Jeremy Cobb. So a first down for Paul Six to spot the ball at the 48-yard line. And again, they've had some pretty good field position. They've gotten into the end zone, the red zone rather, once. But then they fumbled the ball after they picked up their lone turnover on an interception. Spread out once again with 2 on either side, 1 in the backfield. Gledhill back to throw under pressure. Pass up ahead is tipped, but incomplete. Intended for Cameron Osborne. Actually, for Nolan McGrath, excuse me. Jalen Cheek got the deflection, I believe. And coming in untouched from the right side was Jeremy Cobb. That could have been very dangerous because that was the blind side. And Cobb forced a fumble earlier in the game that turned into the touchdown. So that is, again, very dangerous. And again, if you're a defensive player, knowing what Paul Six is doing right now, they're tired, they're not exactly confident. You're salivating as a defensive player. Gledhill trying to avoid the blitz. Pass to the right intended for Woods, but it was rushed, and the rush was forced. So incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10. We're down to 4:15 to go here in the third quarter. And this is where Gledhill's going to have to build some poise here. Yeah, he's got some big guys who have been in his and his fellow quarterback Kevin Johnson's face pretty much the entire game. He's got to figure out a way to get something rolling. Again, some of these young linemen as well. Either try to get some work in, get some of their own confidence, make some plays here. They'll spread it out again with trips to the right, 1 to the left, 1 in the backfield. Gledhill in the shotgun. He's back to throw. Under pressure. Steps into the pocket. The pass is incomplete as it's away from Dennis Hallam. And it'll be 4th and 10. And Paul Six not messing around this time. They're going to punt. Back to receive. Jaden Brown for Winslow Township. Ready to punt is Henry Westerman. He's been showing off his leg. Again, really hasn't had a great opportunity to show it off. He did attempt a 50-yard field goal that might have been good from 45. But it wasn't good from 50. As timeout called by Winslow Township.
First time out of the second half.
That is the first timeout. So they got 2 remaining, and then certainly not something they want to do is call a timeout. They want the clock to roll. But they had some substitution issues, again, when you're bringing in newer players. Basically, a lot of the coaching staff may be improvising. Some guys, these young players going, wait a second, am I supposed to come in or not? There were 3 or 4 guys who came in late. Again, even though it's just going to be a punt play, you want to do it right. Do the kids a disservice if you don't have the right people out there or enough people out there for them to learn on these plays. Again, it's 52-0, so again, it's not going to affect the course of this game. So it does look like Winslow Township is going to go to 3-2, while Paul 6 drops to 0-6 on the year. But you don't get opportunities like this again. Again, it's basically turned into a scrimmage. So if you're both of these teams, you want to work on things and do it correctly. That's why that timeout was called. The clock now continues to roll. And punt play coming up for Paul 6 with one man deep. Jaden Brown set up at his own 15-yard line. Spinning kick end over end. Angled to the left side. And that'll go out of bounds inside the 30-yard line to the 25 is where they'll call it. 1st and 10 for Winslow Township. Again, neither team in any real rush to keep this game as far as the play is concerned rolling, and clock is rolling because of the score line. We've talked a lot about both teams wanting to work on things and get better at their craft as they move on in the season. Another goal is not get anybody hurt. Again, injury is part of the game, obviously, but you don't want it to be part of the game in a game that is out of reach. Something intriguing here as Prince Drew Bay stays in the game, but he lines up as a receiver. Not sure if this is Wildcat or if this is a new quarterback, but no matter what it is snuffed out right away as Jamel Kwan, the freshman, hands it off. But now Paul 6 player is down. Again, very last thing you want here is down on all fours is that Paul 6 Eagle. And they've had their injury woes in this game. Again, earlier, the starting quarterback, Kevin Johnson, was shaken up. Before that, there's a play in the end zone. The Paul 6 player who threw the hit actually is the one who got hurt. Jammed up his shoulders. Now this time it's Nolan McGrath, but he's going to come off under his own power. So it's very intriguing to see Prince Drew Bay staying in the game, but as a receiver. But that may have been just one play. Getting some experience for Jamel Kwan. That's exactly what's happening here. It's kind of neat to actually be able to throw to your leader quarterback. The guy who's mentoring you for the future. Trips to the left, one to the right, one in the backfield. Kwan takes it up the middle himself. Protects the ball well, gets over the 35 to the 40. Stiff arm thrown, and then he is arrested out of bounds. As Jason Williams got harassed the whole way while trying to make the tackle. And that'll be good enough for a first down as we're under a minute here in the third quarter. Spot the ball pretty much at the center line. At the 50, it'll be 1st and 10. Kwan, as we mentioned, a freshman, has gotten time as a linebacker and DB here in a quarterback. 5'11", 180. And he's in the shotgun once again. Calls for it and looks for the screen. Pass is complete to Dedura. Dedura gets over the 45, short of the 40. The flag flies. As on the tackle is Alfred Woods, but he also may be guilty of the infraction. Clock is stopped with 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Again, 52-0. It's going to be a holding call. Well, intriguing where that holding call was thrown. That'll bring it back into Winslow Township territory. It'll be 1st and 12 from the 48-yard line. As the clock rolls, 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. And no rush to get a play off, but they'll have to do one. Paul Six looking blitz. And they'll try the blitz. One man gets through, but it's handed off and then tackled in the backfield. Good hit by Alfred Woods. As Jamel Davis went nowhere, and that will be how the third quarter ends. So we head to the fourth quarter, all Winslow Township by a score of 52-0. We'll take a quick break, back with the conclusion of tonight's game. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, we are live from Winslow Township High School here in Atco, New Jersey. About to start the fourth quarter, and it's all Winslow Township over Paul Six by a score of 52-0. So to start off this fourth quarter, it is Winslow Township with possession. 2nd and 14 from the 46-yard line, as benches have pretty much ended. Or pretty much emptied, rather, as a flag in the backfield before the snap, and I'm going to say delay a game, and that's exactly what it is.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, with the running clock situation, know exactly how much time you have to work with. That's going to go back another 5 yards, so an auspicious beginning of the fourth quarter here for Winslow Township. So 2nd and even longer from the 41-yard line. 2 right, 1 left, 1 in the backfield. And rolling out right is Jamel Kwan. Then he'll air it out deep to the left side, and that is caught at the 15-yard line. Touchdown, Winslow Township. Prince Drew Bay with the reception. What a throw from Jamel Kwan again, just a freshman. Right into the hands of Bay for the score.
A 59-yard reception.
And it's now 58-0.
Never gets old. We are scoring and soaring.
Wow. Just look at that throw. What that means is when Bay graduates, future very bright for Winslow Township as far as the quarterback position is concerned. Farhan Kazi will try the PAT. Snap is high, and that is blocked. So that will be obviously no good, as the offensive line really could not protect. 10:53 left to go, fourth quarter. Again, all Winslow Township. It's 58-0. But what a highlight reel play from the future quarterback of the Winslow Township Eagles to the current in Prince Drew Bay. A monster game all the way around for Winslow Township. They've picked up scores on the ground, in the air. They have a fumble return for touchdown, an interception return for touchdown, and they even have the freshman future quarterback Jamel Kwan getting in on the action. Back to receive for Paul Six, Jason Williams, along with Vincent Bannon. Vincent Bannon, he's a freshman. 5'8", 135, getting an opportunity. That's a good job by Paul Six's coaching staff to, again, just empty the bench, trying to get as much experience for some of their younger players as possible. And Paul Six will have a couple of weeks to work on things before they take on Hamilton in 2 weeks. Well, again, Winslow Township, they're coming off the bye, and they play next Friday night at Hamilton. Farin Kazi will kick things off. End over end kick, but short as it lands to 25. Scooped up by the freshman Bannett. Looks to go right up the middle, and he is stopped at the 35. It took a while to stop him as he continued to move his leg. That's a great habit to get into. Just keep on pumping away as there is a Winslow Township player down. A little slow to get up. There's Jeremy Cobb. Looks like he's all right, but holding his stomach. 10:25 and counting left to go in the fourth quarter.
All right, so we're starting this possession at the 35-yard line.
Joe Gledhill, 1st and 10 from the 35.
10 minutes left, fourth quarter.
Two left, one right, one in the back here for Gledhill as he's in the shotgun. He hands it off. A couple of nice moves to get to the line of scrimmage. But eventually, Jason Williams is brought down. Williams, a freshman, getting the handoff from the sophomore quarterback. So again, as we mentioned, the youth for Paul Six being served right now. Just trying to get some experience. Gain of a little over a yard on the play. So we'll go 2nd and 9. On the 36-yard line. Gledhill once again in the shotgun. As it gets away, trying to scoop it up. Eventually tries to land on it. But let's see who has possession. It will be Winslow Township balls. They recover the fumble. So a low snap. Gledhill just could not reach it. And he tried to pick up and run. Certainly would have been better served to just jump on it. So another turnover for Paul Six. It's their 5th of the game. So Winslow Township will have another shot to the end zone here. 8:44 and counting to go here in the fourth quarter. A 58-0 lead for Winslow Township. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25 as they will call timeout, Winslow Township. Second charge timeout. They'll have one remaining. Again, I think with all these substitution packages they're bringing in, they may have some confusion. But again, grand scheme, not a big deal. Just at the end of the day, you don't want to bother with stopping the clock. You just want to get out of here and come away with the win if you're Winslow Township. But I got to say, certainly a successful homecoming game for Winslow Township. So it took them a while to get rolling. Some penalty issues early on. But once they got rolling, they have not stopped. Jamel Kwan again will be under center. Doesn't have Bay to throw to as he's actually not in the game, but it'll be 2 to the left, 2 to the right, and a 1 in the backfield. Kwan in the shotgun as he will hand it off to Jamel Davis. Davis around the end to the 10, cuts to the 5, and he dives towards the touchdown, but a flag flies.
Wait to see what the flag is. Let's see.
And looks like it will be a hold against Winslow Township. Again, guilty of at least 5, maybe even 6 holds in this game. And again, they're dominating Paul Six. And if they're holding Paul Six, they start playing teams that are top of the division. Well, holding certainly not going to help them out there either. It's something they need to find a way to figure out. I'm sure that'll be a point of contention during practice this week for Winslow Township. So that'll move things back, and it'll be first down from the 29-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 14.
1st and 14 from the 29-yard line.
I certainly will say it was a nice little run there from Davis, though, but helped out by the hole. Quan again in the shotgun, and looks to be the veer, but he'll keep it and get just short of the 20-yard line. It's a nice positive yardage on the run from Jamel Quan. And 5'11" as a freshman, so potentially some more growing to do. And we can find himself 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" range. That'll be a powerful weapon for Winslow Township in the future. Gain of 6 on the play. It'll be second and 5 from the 20. Clock rolls down to 7:07 to go in the fourth quarter. Quan pitches it out and it's dropped. And it's still loose. And it'll be Paul 6 ball. Second turnover of the game for Winslow Township. And that was a case of trying something a little different, a little new. And the pitch out just did not connect with Davis. And the way he actually kind of reached back for it and tried to bring it in, didn't look like he was going to run with it. He might have been thinking pass with the halfback option. That may be me just reading into it. So for Paul 6, they'll start off 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Quarterback back to throw, and airs it out. And that is, unable to pick it up was Nyugube. He had a step at the 40-yard line, and it was in his hands. But just could not bring it in, and he can't believe it. That's the kind of day it's been for Paul 6. And they have done some things right in this game, especially early on. Haven't been able to really add on. And sometimes it seems when you do something right, the next thing you do is something a little off. And great throw out of the hands of Joe Gledhill. And Gledhill, the sophomore, just tried to drop it into the hands of Nyugube, but could not connect. So 2nd and 10. They spread it out again. Looks to the left side this time. And he'll try to go deep. And this one does not connect. That's out of the reach of Dennis Hallam. That one was a little bit closer to the sideline. May have been a tougher play. But 2 deep shots by Paul 6. And neither worked. It'll be 3rd and 10. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, rather. Yeah, running clock because of the score line. Not a whole lot of time for Paul 6 to get anything positive going. And again, they really had a shot to put something up on the board. Gledhill a little slow to come back in after getting the play call from the coaching staff. But I think a lot of slack will be shown by the officials. 2 to the left, 1 to the right, and 1 deep in the backfield. Gledhill back to throw, under pressure. Tries over the middle this time, and this is caught at the 40-yard line. Nicholas Ocampo gets over the 45 and tackled down, and the flag flies late. So it looks like it'll be a flag after the play. So it'll be a first down. Just depends on where the ball is going to be spotted now. It'll be a personal foul, face mask against Winslow Township. And this is the 2nd or 3rd time that Winslow Township is guilty of a post-play foul. And again, to say that Winslow Township has been perfect, that's not the case. They certainly have some things to work on, and maybe discipline is among one of them. So pretty good field position right now for Paul 6. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Winslow Township 39-yard line. They spread it out again. Rolling out right, Gledhill. Gledhill being chased by 2. Tosses near side, and it is caught by McGrath. Tries to cut up ahead, but he's forced out of bounds on the tackle by Terrell Hiller. Nice little gain there of just about 9. And I think they're going to give him 10. Yep, it's going to be a first down.
Just about 10 yards. First and 10.
So 1st and 10 now from the 29, 28-yard line. Ball 28. A chance here with 3:09 to go in the fourth quarter to avoid the shutout if you're Paul Six. Gledhill hands it off, fakes it, and slants it across, and it's incomplete, just out of the reach of the jumping Nicholas Ocampo.
Ocampo, a little high this time.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 with 2:48 to go. Again, clock will continue to run. I wouldn't say Paul Six desperate to get into the end zone, but have a better taste in their mouth as they travel back to Westmont. Say about a 35, 40-minute drive, depending on traffic. The White Horse Pike. Quick snap. Gledhill forced to go to the right. And that is caught by Ocampo on the slant. And he is upended hard at the 25-yard line. Chavez Coney with a nice step-up tackle. So not only is it the skill position, so to speak, that are getting opportunities, even some of the defensive players and linemen who are a little younger and a little inexperienced, they're getting their shot as well. So 3rd and 5 from the 23-yard line. Gledhill back to throw. Avoids the sack, tries to get the throw up ahead. And let's see, they're going to go incomplete pass. And there were a couple blitzers right up the middle, and they timed it perfectly. Tried to roll to the right, but had nowhere to go. Fortunately for him, hand was moving forward when when the ball left his hand. So it will be either a field goal attempt or a punt. At this point, I don't know, maybe you try the field goal. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go for a 40-yard attempt by Westerman. This will be a second opportunity, as he tried a 50-yarder in the first quarter. This is against the wind, but the wind isn't all that powerful. And he has a potential leg here. And it's blocked at the line. It is picked up. And a big hit thrown. But Westerman tried to put all his oomph into it and did not get it over the line. And that might be the last play. We're down under 22 seconds to go. Both teams really taking their time getting back onto the field. I can't imagine that Winslow Township would bother.
Thank everybody once again for coming out.
And it doesn't look like they're going to. So that will do it. Big performance by Winslow Township today against Paul Six as they take the Battle of the Eagles. Final score, 58-0. And to be honest with you, the main man you want to look at for Winslow Township is Prince Drew Bay. He had a rushing touchdown, a couple of passing touchdowns. He had a reception for touchdown and an interception. And again, a huge performance from Prince Drew Bay and the entire Winslow Township Eagles. Well, that'll do it for us. Winslow Township, they move to 3-2 overall, 2-1 in conference. Paul Six, they're now 0-6 overall, and they are now 0-3 in conference. Next up for Winslow Township next Friday night, non-conference game in Hamilton. Next up for Paul Six on the 19th at home against Moorestown. Once again, our final score tonight. Winslow Township 58, Paul Six 0. Now for all of us here at Winslow Township High School, this is Tom Wilms saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you real soon.